The Los Angeles Lakers had plenty of issues in their 123-116 loss to the Golden State Warriors on Thursday night. Turnovers, defensive lapses, and a lack of cohesion all played a role in the defeat. But one problem stood out above the rest: poor shooting efficiency, particularly from Luka Donic. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. The Slovenian superstar had what was easily his worst night since joining the Lakers, finishing with just 6 of 17 shooting from the field and missing all 6 of his three-point attempts. It was a stark contrast to the performances Lakers fans have come to expect from him, especially given his historic shooting run in March. But against Golden State, the numbers told the story. Donic struggled to find his rhythm, was suffocated by multiple defenders, and looked visibly frustrated throughout the game. From the opening tip, the Warriors made it clear that they weren't going to let Donic get comfortable. They threw different defensive looks at him, crowding him with double teams, denying him space on the perimeter, and forcing him into difficult, contested shots. Time and time again, Donic found himself settling for deep, off-balance threes or driving into a congested paint with no clear path to the basket. But beyond just his own struggles, the Lakers as a whole failed to create the kind of ball movement and spacing that would have allowed Donic to get easier looks. There was little off-ball movement, and Golden State took advantage, clogging the lanes and making life miserable for LA's offense. After the game, Donic didn't make excuses. He didn't point fingers or blame the game plan. Instead, he owned up to his performance, acknowledging that he simply wasn't good enough on the night. "This kind of performance is unacceptable," he admitted. "I couldn't put the team in a position to win." His words reflect the high standard he holds himself to. And it's easy to see why this particular performance stung more than most. Just a few weeks ago, Donic was rewriting the Lakers' record books, setting a new franchise record for three-pointers made in a single month, with 64 triples on an impressive 40.5% shooting clip. He was on fire, carrying the offense and looking every bit like the superstar the Lakers traded for. But against the Warriors, he was ice cold. Head coach J.J. Redick wasn't harsh in his post-game comments, choosing to defend his star rather than call him out publicly. "It wasn't Luka's night," Redick said, keeping his remarks brief. But while he avoided direct criticism, the message was clear: the Lakers need Donic at his best, and the team must do a better job of putting him in positions to succeed. The struggles against Golden State weren't just about Donic missing shots. They were about the Lakers' offensive system breaking down when faced with aggressive, high-pressure defense. When Donic was locked up on the perimeter, there was little movement elsewhere to create better passing lanes. Without proper spacing, he was often forced into tough isolation plays, and the Lakers' offense became stagnant. That put added pressure on Austin Reeves and LeBron James to take on a heavier scoring load. And while both delivered strong performances, Reeves finishing with 31 points and LeBron adding 33, it wasn't enough to overcome the inefficiencies elsewhere. The lack of offensive rhythm was evident, and the team's struggles extended beyond just Donic. The tough reality for the Lakers is that they don't have time to dwell on this loss. The NBA schedule doesn't slow down, and things won't get any easier in the coming days. On Friday night, the Lakers will take the court again, this time against the New Orleans Pelicans, a team fighting for playoff positioning and playing with urgency. New Orleans has been one of the most physical teams in the West this season, and if the Lakers don't correct their mistakes quickly, they could find themselves in another battle. And then, on Sunday, the real challenge comes: a matchup against the top-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC has been dominant all season long, led by MVP candidate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and a young, hungry roster that plays with relentless energy. It's one of the toughest road games the Lakers will face down the stretch, and a win there would be a huge statement. But for that to happen, they need Luka Donic to be Luka Donic again. For Redick and his coaching staff, the priority now is clear: getting Donic back in rhythm and making the necessary adjustments to prevent a repeat of what happened against Golden State. That means improving ball movement, working on off-ball actions to create space, and ensuring that Donic has better shot opportunities. One of the biggest keys will be spacing. When the Lakers have good floor spacing, Donic is able to operate at his best, finding open shooters, attacking the basket, and dictating the tempo of the game. But when the offense becomes stagnant, defenses can collapse on him, taking away his strengths and forcing him into inefficient play. It's not just on Donic to fix things, it's on the entire team. If the Lakers want to make a deep playoff run, they can't afford to rely solely on hero ball. They need a structured offense, a plan that allows their superstar to thrive, and a system that doesn't fall apart under pressure. There's still time to get things back on track, but the clock is ticking. And with the playoff race heating up, every game matters. The Lakers still have a chance to secure home court advantage in the first round. But to do that, they need to regroup, refocus, and ensure that Thursday's struggles were just a bump in the road, not the start of a bigger problem. The Los Angeles Lakers made a bold move when they acquired Donic, believing he could be the missing piece to elevate their offense to an elite level. Already one of the best scoring teams in the league, they expected Donic's arrival to take them over the top, making their attack virtually unstoppable. His ability to score from anywhere on the court, create shots for teammates, and control the tempo of the game made him a highly coveted star. But since arriving in Los Angeles, the reality hasn't quite matched the expectations. When Donic is playing at his peak, he is one of the most dangerous offensive players in the NBA. His footwork, strength, and elite ball handling skills allow him to create space against defenders, and his deep shooting range forces teams to extend their defense. When he's on, he can pick apart any defensive scheme. The problem for the Lakers is that those nights have not come frequently enough. His efficiency has taken a noticeable dive. While he shot 46.4% from the field during his time in Dallas, that number has dropped to just 41.2% since joining the Lakers. His three-point shooting has also suffered, as he has struggled to find his rhythm from beyond the arc. That inconsistency was evident in Thursday night's highly anticipated matchup against the Golden State Warriors. With the Lakers needing a big performance from their star, Donic instead had one of his worst nights in recent memory, making just 6 of his 17 field goal attempts. NBA analyst Jay Williams was quick to call him out, delivering harsh criticism on national television. Luka's stock took a major hit last night. This is a real concern, guys, and something we've been talking about for a while. If you're going to be a liability on defense, then you need to be exceptional on offense. Williams' frustration is understandable. Donic's offensive production was supposed to offset his well-known defensive shortcomings. When the Lakers made the move to acquire him, there were immediate concerns about how his presence would affect the team's ability to defend, especially against quicker, more athletic guards. The organization was willing to take that risk, believing that his offensive firepower would make up for any defensive deficiencies. But in recent games, that hasn't been the case. Donic's struggles are now becoming a real concern as the Lakers prepare for the playoffs. The Western Conference is filled with elite competition, and every team is gearing up for what promises to be one of the most competitive postseasons in years. The Lakers cannot afford to have their star player performing below expectations, especially when their championship hopes rest largely on his ability to deliver. Since joining the Lakers, Donic has still put up strong numbers, averaging 26.8 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game. Those statistics might look impressive on paper, but they don't tell the full story. His inefficiency and inconsistent shooting performances have cost the Lakers several key games, making it difficult for them to establish themselves as a true title contender. Beyond his own struggles, the Lakers as a team have also faced challenges integrating Donic into their system. One of the biggest concerns has been the team's lack of off-ball movement when Donic has the ball. Unlike his time in Dallas, where he often had multiple shooters spaced around him, the Lakers' current system has not always provided him with the best opportunities to succeed. Defenders have been able to key in on him, forcing him into difficult shots and frustrating him with physical play. The Lakers' coaching staff, led by J.J. Redick, is well aware of these issues and is actively looking for solutions. Redick, a former sharpshooter himself, understands the importance of spacing and movement. But fixing these problems this late in the season will be a challenge. The team does not have the luxury of time to experiment with new strategies. The playoffs are approaching quickly, and every game matters in their fight for home court advantage. Looking ahead, the Lakers face a brutal schedule, with matchups against the New Orleans Pelicans and Oklahoma City Thunder in the coming days. Both teams are hungry for wins and will present significant challenges. The Thunder, in particular, are one of the best defensive teams in the league and will be looking to exploit any weaknesses in Donic's game. For the Lakers to have any chance of making a deep playoff run, they need Donic to be at his absolute best. His scoring, playmaking, and leadership will be crucial in determining how far this team can go. But if his inefficiency continues, the Lakers could find themselves in serious trouble. There is no doubt that Donic is capable of turning things around. He has shown time and time again that he can rise to the occasion when the pressure is at its highest. But the question remains, can he do it consistently? The Lakers are betting their championship hopes on the answer being yes. Now, it's up to Donic to prove them right. The Los Angeles Lakers, despite having two of the biggest superstars in the game with LeBron James and Luka Donic, still find themselves facing significant challenges. While their offensive firepower is undeniable, their roster still has noticeable gaps that could prevent them from making a serious championship run. Because of this, the Lakers front office is actively exploring ways to improve the team, and recent reports suggest they could be preparing for a major move, one that might even involve acquiring a former MVP. Rumors are swirling around the possibility of a blockbuster trade, with some insiders speculating that the Lakers may be willing to part ways with rising star Austin Reeves in exchange for a high-caliber player, potentially even Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers. While this would be a massive shake-up for the franchise, it could also be the move that puts them in the best position to compete for another NBA championship. According to Caleb Hightower of Sporting News, the franchise needs a dominant, versatile big man who can replace Anthony Davis's high-level production. This sentiment has fueled discussions about whether the Lakers could take a bold approach in the trade market. Austin Reeves has been a crucial piece for the Lakers, bringing versatility, playmaking, and energy to the team, all while being on a relatively affordable contract. His ability to fit alongside stars like LeBron and Donic has made him invaluable. However, if the opportunity arises to bring in a true game-changing superstar, the Lakers might be forced to reconsider their stance on keeping him off the trade table. Of course, the possibility of acquiring Embiid comes with significant risks. The 76ers' big man is one of the most dominant players in the league when healthy, but his injury history is well documented. His recurring knee issues have been a major concern, and the physical toll has also affected him mentally. It's been incredibly frustrating. It's something that still hasn't been figured out, and it's honestly been depressing because I want to be out there every game, Embiid admitted in an interview with ESPN's Tim Bontemps. Despite these concerns, the Lakers may view Embiid as the missing piece in their championship puzzle. A trade for the reigning MVP would certainly come at a high cost, but the potential reward could be monumental. If the Lakers were to land Embiid, it would fundamentally change the dynamics of their roster and their championship aspirations. He is arguably the most dominant two-way center in the NBA, capable of single-handedly altering games on both ends of the floor. Offensively, his skill set is unparalleled among big men. His face-up game is polished, allowing him to score from mid-range with ease. He's deadly in pick-and-pop situations, giving Luka Donic another elite scoring option in the half-court. His ability to absorb contact and get to the free-throw line would also add another dimension to the Lakers' attack, making them even harder to defend. More importantly, his presence would alleviate pressure from both LeBron James and Luka Donic. With Embiid as a dominant force in the paint, LeBron wouldn't have to carry as much of the scoring burden, and Donic would have an elite big man to work with in pick-and-roll situations. This would not only make their offense more versatile, but also allow them to manage LeBron's minutes more effectively throughout the season. Defensively, Embiid would address some of the Lakers' most glaring weaknesses. His ability to protect the rim, alter shots, and secure rebounds would give Los Angeles a major advantage in the paint. The Lakers have struggled at times with interior defense, and adding an elite shot blocker like Embiid would immediately shore up that area. However, the biggest question remains, would the Lakers be willing to take the risk? While acquiring Embiid could turn the Lakers into an instant title favorite, the potential drawbacks of such a move cannot be ignored. First and foremost, his health remains a major concern. His history of knee injuries raises red flags about his long-term durability, and the Lakers would have to be confident that he can stay on the floor for an extended playoff run. There's also the financial aspect. Embiid's contract is massive, and the Lakers would need to make significant adjustments to their salary cap to accommodate him. Trading away Austin Reeves would help match salaries, but the team might also have to include additional players and draft assets to make the deal work. That could mean sacrificing depth, something that has been crucial for their success in recent seasons. Additionally, there's the question of team chemistry. The Lakers already have a high-usage player in Luka Donic, and adding another dominant scorer like Embiid could create challenges in terms of shot distribution and play style. Would he be willing to adjust his game to fit alongside LeBron and Luka, or would there be growing pains as they try to figure out how to coexist on the court? The Lakers find themselves at a crossroads. On one hand, they have a solid roster that, when fully healthy, can compete with any team in the league. On the other, They have an opportunity to make a franchise-altering move that could potentially bring them another championship. Joel Embiid is a generational talent, and if he can stay healthy, he could be the piece that takes the Lakers to the next level. However, the risks associated with his injury history and the potential loss of depth make this a complicated decision. As the trade deadline approaches, all eyes will be on the Lakers' front office. Will they take the gamble and go all in for a third superstar? Or will they stick with their current core and trust that LeBron and Luka can lead them to a title without making drastic changes? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: if the Lakers do make a move for Embiid, the entire NBA landscape could shift in an instant.